Power up call. This is gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna just share a key lesson with you guys today. Uh, as far as announcements goes or housekeeping goes, I don't really have anything for you guys right now. I think you guys don't already know about. I do have. Okay. We're working out some of the details on launching platoons. We should have most of the back end lined up and might do a soft launch later today or tomorrow. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes on announcements. Things are gonna be a lot of fun, and platoons are gonna make it a lot more personal for you guys. You're gonna have a lot smaller of a group for you guys to work with. However, know this: you're gonna have to earn your way into a platoon. Platoons are a privilege. They're not something that just every student's going to get. You have to earn your way into a platoon, and I'll give you more of the details once we're ready to launch. But platoons are going to be a lot of fun, and they're going to give you an opportunity to rise to a higher level personally, and also enjoy a higher level of personal connection and teamwork. And it's gonna make the campus a lot of fun. So I'm excited for it. So that's the main announcement I have for you guys right now. But really, I just want to dive right into the main reason for this whole call. Over the last week or so, I've reviewed an immense amount of outreach from different people. I've broken down a lot of people's approaches, and I've looked at how you guys are thinking about your cold outreach, and I have noticed a glaring gap. I've got the question over and over again from you guys: how do I help businesses? I look at a business, I don't know how to help them. I don't know what they need. What happens when I look at a business and everything looks perfect? Their copywriting looks great. They've got a good page. They've got good headlines. They've got good ads. What do I do? Hey, I'm not getting replies. I send this out. I'm testing this out. I'm testing out this, sending out captions. I'm testing out Facebook ads. I'm testing out headline rewrites. I'm testing out these different things. I'm still not getting replies. What do I do? Now, these three questions might seem loosely related at best, but honestly, they all come down to the same core answer. Now, this is going to be a good valuable one. I'm going to check real quick, make sure it looks like the audio is working, because you guys are talking about stuff in the chat that I've been talking about. So looks like the audio is working. So I think you're ready to hear the actual recipe. This is the recipe for good free value. This is the recipe for free value that turns around and actually gets you a response. Because it's easy to just come up with some type of free value. You just think of something you can do as a copywriter and you put it in there and boom, you've got free value. You've got something you can test. However, there is an approach to free value that will get you significantly higher success rates and response rates than if you just do whatever, a 3 email sequence or whatever deliverable you guys are thinking of at this time. So, and this goes back to what I talked about yesterday on my call of, you need to find out what people's problems are and then give them what they need. Like that's the way it works. You don't think of what you have and think of people you can sell it to. You think of people, you think of their problems, and then you think of what you can offer them. And sometimes you have to meet in the middle, but you need to at least start backwards from the person to some degree so you can meet in the middle. Because if you just start forward with your product, you're probably going to miss the mark. So you need to ask yourself, for whatever niche you're reaching out to, because it's going to be a little bit different for each niche, but you need to ask yourself, what is this person's goal? What are they trying to achieve with their marketing? What are the outcomes they're trying to achieve? Obviously, they're trying to grow their business. That's a big one. But there's more detailed ways to talk about it. For example, let's say you're a dentist. One of the outcomes that you're trying to achieve with your marketing is you're going to try and get people to come in for their annual cleanings, right, where they did before. That's an outcome. You want more of your previous customers to come back in. You want to find new customers and get them in on an entry deal so they'll purchase from you, right? That's one of the outcomes you're trying to accomplish. That might be one of the goals you are thinking about at all times, right? Once you identify the goal, so that's an example for a dentist. Let me give you a few more examples. Let's say you are a YouTube guy who you produce content on YouTube, but you sell info products, sell courses and one-on-one coaching on your website. One of your goals might be to get people to go from your YouTube to opt into your newsletter, so then you can better sell them your high ticket programs. One of your goals might be, you might be asking yourself the question, how do I get people from watching my YouTube videos to signing up for my high ticket coaching? That might be a question you have running through your brain. So if you can identify these problems, these goals, these questions that exist in your prospect's brain, then you need to ask yourself, what can I offer them to help them achieve that goal? What small piece of copy can I offer them that will get them a few steps closer to solving the goal? You don't have to solve the whole problem, but if it's something that can help with that problem, that's what you need to be thinking about for your free value. Now, the reason you ask yourself these two questions, and the reason that's important, is because when you turn around to do your outreach, you can then focus on the optimal, like the outcome that you're going to help them get with the free value. And you can use the mechanism you can just tease that. That's just something you tease, right? Because the real value is you can step in and say, hey, if you're trying to achieve this goal, I can help you achieve this goal with this little piece of free value that I've created. Do you want to see it? Now, this approach, this recipe, these two questions I'll give you a third one. The third question you ask after that is, what interesting and curiosity inducing way can I present this free value so they will want to say yes to it and see what it actually is? If you can ask yourself these three questions. So, what is their goal? What is their problem? What are they worried about right now? What outcomes do they want to achieve in their marketing? What small piece of copy can I produce for them, or what small deliverable, whatever, video, Loom, whatever it is, what small deliverable can I create for them that will help them start to solve this problem better? And then what creative and intriguing way can I present this to them so they will say yes? If you can ask yourself those three questions, you will create better free value. The free value is going to be dialed into what they actually need. You might discover, hey, it's not email sequences. It's this type of Instagram caption. Or you know what? Maybe I could show them a pop-up they can implement on their site that would help them increase their conversions. You'll come up with creative ways to solve their problem, right? And when you show up to them and you say, hey, dude, I've got something to help you solve this problem, they're going to pay attention because that's the one thing they think about all the time. There's a really good question. I think it was in the Ultimate Sales Letter, book by Dan Kennedy. It was one of his questions he would ask during research phase. And I probably need to start including this in the boot camp at some point. But he would ask himself, he would say, what keeps my prospect up worried at night? What do they toss and turn and lose sleep over at night? What's the one thing? Because people have, 2 or 3 big problems that they worry about. And if you can talk about one of those 2 or 3 big problems, you instantly have their attention. If you try to talk to them about something else, you have to first convince them to pay attention to that problem. And that's a huge battle. It's way better to find what they're already currently worried about and start the conversation there, right? And the interesting thing is the thing that they're worried about, might not be the ultimate thing that they need to fix, right? They might be worried about trying to get new customers, but the real reason they can't get new customers is because they don't have a high enough LTV, because they don't have a new product on the back end, a high ticket product on the back end, so they can afford to do customer acquisition. That might be the real problem, right? Problem is, if you show up and talk to them about their real problem, they don't care because they're not thinking about their real problem, and they have convinced themselves that the real problem is they don't have enough new customers. So what you need to do is show up, talk to them about how to get new customers, and then once you have their attention, then you lead them to the thing they actually want. But as you're creating free value, you need to figure out what is the top 1 to 3 things that they are worried about on their mind when it comes to their marketing, the outcomes they're trying to achieve, and talk to them about that. And if you build your free value as a response to those things, and again, it's going to be a little bit different per niche. They're going to talk about it a little bit differently. You need to do your research. You need to test things out. You need to come up with different hypotheses, and then you need to test those out. But this is how you create winning free value. And then assuming that your copy is written well, assuming that you're actually taking time each day to improve your skills, doing stuff on the daily checklist so you get better every single day at the work that you do. Assuming that happens, you will get more replies. People will be more interested because you won't just be trying to sell them something. You will be trying to help them with one of their biggest, most important problems that they're currently facing. And that's a completely different frame. When you approach it from that frame, they actually want to work with you. They want to listen to you. They're going to care about what you say because you care about them. This is the formula. What outcomes are they trying to achieve with their marketing, and what are they most worried about currently with their marketing? What small piece of copy, what small deliverable, what small thing can I give them that will help them start to solve that big problem that they're worried about all night long? And then how can I present that to them in a unique and compelling way that creates curiosity and makes them want to say yes? If you can answer those 3 questions, you will create winning free value, and you create winning outreach, and you'll solve all the problems I was talking about before. Why am I not getting replies? That problem's going to get solved. Why do I get ghosts after they see my free value? That problem's going to get solved. How do I come up with things to help a business? This problem is now solved if you see this. One thing that you're going to notice is that as you look at companies and try and help them, you'll notice that some of them have their stuff together, right? It's not like they have any glaring problems, but what you're going to focus then on is what new things can I bring to the table to help them solve their current goals, right? And achieve their current goals. What new ideas on top of what they're currently doing can I bring to the table? Same thing. They still have a goal they're trying to pursue. They're pursuing it relentlessly. Sure, maybe they're executing everything they're currently doing pretty well, but you can show up and bring them a new tool, a new opportunity that will help them achieve that goal, and they'll care about it just as much, right? So that's how you help someone who seems to already have their stuff together. And yeah, this little recipe right here, these 3 questions, these 3 or 4 questions that I've given you. This is how you create winning free value. This is how you show up at a business, and you can start a conversation in a way that they are going to pay attention, they're going to respond to you, and that they're going to want to listen to you on a sales call. You're not going to be viewed as just some guy trying to sell them something. You'll be a person who understands their situation and it's there to help them with something they actually legitimately care about. That's the formula. I really honestly believe that if you understand this approach, and I tried to communicate it clearly in the bootcamp. Obviously, I didn't. I'm going to have to go ahead and re-update that video, provide a better framework for you guys as you're going through that in the beginning. But that being said, you have the formula now, and I'm going to probably take this video and clip it and put it in the general resources so I can link to it a little bit easier when people have this question. But this is how you create winning free value. This is how you show up in a better way. Use this approach. You're going to change the way you talk to people, and it's going to change the way that they respond to you. All right, someone just dropped a Rumble rant here. I want to make sure I take care of it. He said, Vin, how can we apply this to every prospect, or do we just pick a specific problem / goal and use it in our outreach and hope we come across the right person in the buying window? Yeah. You can there's two different approaches that people are using and are getting success with. One, you can custom make every single email outreach you do and tailor every single part of your email from top to bottom for that person. That works. And you can get some really good responses to that. That is one path you can take. Or you can continue to use the mail merge path and just think of a key problem. And most businesses, as different as they are, they're all pretty much the same on the things they actually worry about. So by sub niche, you can create these templates and reach out to them, and you're going to have a large percentage of them still pay attention. Like 30% response rates, if you do this correctly, like you can expect that. That's part of how this process works. So you can take either path. You're going to find a key problem that the entire niche has and create a unique way to get in front of them. And you can mail merge and you'll get good results. Or you can go just one at a time and tailor everything in. This is especially good, especially if you're going to be doing social media DMs. Going super personal usually helps. Both paths work. You just have to pick one and test your way through it. It's sometimes easier to test the mail merge path and get data faster. You can OODA loop a little more efficiently that way than if you have to make if you redo your outreach for every single person, because there's too many confounding variables over here. It makes it hard to know whether or not your approach is working or not. Whereas over here, there's a lot less confounding variables and you can test your way through and find something that's successful. Some people do that and then they take what they've learned from their testing phase and they just do the personalized outreach because now they know that their angle is good and they just need to personalize some of the details on the outreach to make it feel personal for each person. Most people go that route and that's the most effective. But you can take both. As long as you're being intelligent and OODA looping your way through, you can use this principle and be successful with it. Someone else dropped a Rumble rant. Someone said on a recent Power Up call, you said to somehow ask them what their biggest issue is. Do you still want us to implement that? You said it was one of the best marketing advices you've received. So that's more something you would do on a sales call when you're talking with them one-on-one and you get to know their situation, you get to know them a little bit, and you just ask them, hey, what goals are you trying to achieve with your marketing that are being difficult for you right now? And you let them talk, and then you show them a way to solve those problems. You can still do that on the outreach. You can test out different outreach where you just ask them what their problems are and then give them a solution. Like you can still test that out. That's an effective method if you can start the conversation. That usually works really well with social media DMs, personal one-to-one stuff. That's a little less effective over email for some reason, but you can still use that approach. But that idea of asking what they want and then give it to them, that's something that you typically do with on your actual sales calls. Once you've got their attention, once you've got to know them and you're sitting down and you're there to help them identify what the next discovery project is going to be or the next step is going to be for them. So guys, this is the basic idea for today's call is to give you guys this key formula, these 3 questions. Use these 3 questions. You'll be able to identify new opportunities and better ways to create free value. When you show up to talk with them about the free value, you're going to find that with this way, you're going to stop talking so much about the deliverable. It won't be so much about the emails or the ads or the page or whatever. And it'll be more about the result that you're giving them, right? The problem that you're helping them solve. If you start talking about that before you talk about the deliverable or before you tease the deliverable, you're going to get significantly better results with your outreach. Guys, I hope you guys use this. Tell your friends about this. If you're in the Legion and people ask questions and it's clear that they don't understand this idea, refer them back to this video so they can get the sauce and learn the things they need to do. Guys, it's been a good call. I'll do this again tomorrow morning. I love these power-up calls. I love being able to share lessons and ideas with you guys. I love being able to gather all together for just a short moment every day and refocus everybody and re-energize everybody as we push forward so you all can earn the financial freedom that you're here for. It's been a good call, and I'll talk with you guys tomorrow.